Gender stereotypes are clearly presented in media, reflecting the norms and values of society. In this production, Amanda, Melissa, and I, Sarah, will be discussing how gender is portrayed within Disney films, specifically looking at Cinderella as an example. To begin this discussion, we can look at one of the 5 key concepts that Frank W. Baker highlights. The first concept is that all media messages are constructed. In other terms, all media messages are created by someone resembling the ideas, values, and ideologies surrounding them. In regards to Disney films, the media is clearly created by workers and writers for the Disney company. However, what is important is the reasoning behind what we see. Many of the women within these films are portrayed as homebodies, cleaning the house, cooking, and looking for their prince. This is reflective of how society sees the roles of women.
As you probably already know, Disney's Cinderella has been analyzed in so many ways. Many young girls, like myself, grew up watching Disney films such as Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, Sleeping Beauty, and Beauty and the Beast. It has been said that these fairy tale and happy ending movies are a negative influence for young girls, mainly because it's an inaccurate description of life, love, and happiness. If you're an old soul and believe that a woman's place is in the kitchen, you may also believe that her job is to cook and clean. Any house chore, such as laundry or taking care of children, is accurately depicted in this film. If we are talking about gender stereotypes, not all women grow up to put on a puffy white dress and marry a handsome prince. In fact, in today's day and age, some women marry other women. I'm not sure I've seen a Disney movie about that.
In visual pleasure and narrative cinema, Laura Mulvey dives into the idea of gender stereotypes within media. Mulvey discusses social formations being the reason behind these mediated gender roles, which also relates to Baker's concept that all media messages are constructed. Mulvey states, during its history, the cinema seems to have evolved a particular illusion of reality in which this contradiction between libido and ego has found a beautifully complementary fantasy world. In reality, the fantasy world of the screen is subject to the law which produces it. Society provides information that is then transformed into all of the mediated messages that we see. Since princesses who cook, clean, wear pink, and marry their Prince Charming, as seen in Cinderella, young girls will then believe that they need to fit this description to be an appropriate girl in society. Men, on the other hand, are portrayed as strong, heroic figures that have a voice and are looking for their beautiful princess. Young boys will also take this message and apply it to their lives where they need to fit this characteristic in order to get the beautiful girl. Practically every Disney film portrays young girls to be beautiful, quiet, household figures that only succeed once they find love. Cinderella explains the story of a young girl who works as a housemaid to her stepmother. She is unnoticed by everyone and stays in the house to cook and clean, which the movie portrays her role to be. It is not until she is turned into a beautiful princess-like woman that she is finally noticed by the prince. Overall, the moral of this story is that beauty and material worth is more significant than hard work, perseverance, and intelligence.
Baker mentioned that different people experience and interpret the same messages differently. For example, children and adults can watch the same movie and see 2 completely different things. In Disney's Cinderella, for instance, a child might look up to Cinderella because of her beauty and the fact that she becomes a princess, whereas adults will probably realize the sexism that takes place in the movie, even if it is from the 1950s. The defining moment in the movie is the ball. Every girl in the land gets dressed up for a possible minute-long interaction with the prince. Cinderella gets an entire makeover for the ball just to get his attention, supporting Mulvey's point about women in movies being styled for men to look at.